There I go. I'm good now. James Parker, H. Pugs Moran. Hold on. You know what? What's new, James?
Not much. Just doing my TV thing over here, and we started a second hour of it every day. So now I have to do 2 hours a day.
2 hours of TV. What are you doing exactly? Are you fishing stories? Are you taking down local government? What are you doing? Pitching?
No, it's just like the local talk show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so what? Like community interest topics?
Kinda. A lot of that. A lot of. I need to reframe myself. It's just like the show that comes on. You know how it sort of fades out into like the judge shows, and I am the middle ground. Legit morning shows, like the morning show that our news department puts on, and then it's like the Today Show, and then like.
But there's like some local block programming somewhere between like 10 a.m. and 1 p.m., right? Something like that, like somewhere in that area, that sweet spot.
What do you mean block programming? Like sold programming?
No, local. No, it's programming that's the responsibility of the local affiliate. It's that there is no national programming that they're using, so they're doing local, sort of like an extension of whatever, Good Day East Texas, or whatever it is they're putting on in the morning.
Yeah. So I'm just not supposed to do news. I'm supposed to do all the fun stuff, kind of like the Drew Barrymore show, except I'm not attractive and nobody knows who I am.
Well, she's not attractive. Well, we get into that.
She's like 51 and she looks great.
No, she's
a talk show now. I
know. Look, hey, she's my generation. I go all the way back with her. I remember when I was supposed to think she was a contemporary hot. You know what I mean? Like, she's a. No, I'm talking about like 90s when. Man, you don't.
And Poltergeist, the kiddo.
Hold on, James. See, you don't know this because this is the age difference between us.
Right.
Drew Barrymore had about a 2 or 3 year period where she was basically doing porn. Like she was like the super hot, skanky girl that did all the like scandalous, sexy movies that were on Showtime after dark and stuff like that. Her and Alyssa Milano did that stuff.
Poison Ivy?
Drew Barrymore's the original Poison Ivy. That's her.
Alyssa Milano's Poison Ivy too, isn't she?
Yes. Now you're following. So back then, I'm looking at Drew Barrymore and I'm going, she has some very unique features. She has a very sunken face. Okay, I'm just going to go out because I've said it before. Drew Barrymore to me resembles somebody who has Down syndrome. She has a bit of those features. And others, don't see it. And to them, she's beautiful. And that is not to say that people with Down syndrome can't be beautiful. I'm just simply saying that I do not find Drew Barrymore attractive. And that I've always thought she had those kinds of features. Cancel me.
I think she's attractive. She does look a little different, though. I don't know if I would go.
That jaw in the sunken eye. Come on, man. Look. All right. Now we got to pull it up.
My problem with Drew Barrymore is the same problem I have with Rachel Maddow and the fact they talk out of one side of their face.
Oh, yeah. I don't like that either.
Yeah, I don't like that. But it doesn't ruin the content. Like, she's a totally likable person. I don't know. She's not a complete idiot in interviews, but she's no intellectual.
Drew Barrymore?
Yeah.
Oh, no. She's a complete idiot. She is...
Like you never went to a day of school, right?
Never. Not what?
Have no idea what it's like to even do 7th grade.
Dude, she's Hollywood veal. That is exactly what she is. Hollywood veal. She was placed in a box as a baby, and she was basically force-fed gossip and bullshit and lines, of cocaine. She was going to Studio 54 when she was like 6 years old because her mom, Jade, was just like this desperate wannabe celebrity who never made it on her own.
What the hell? You know who her mom is? Who's her mom?
Dude, like I said, she's a contemporary of mine. This is where our age difference, comes into play. You were too young to remember, but no, I was like 12, 13, 14, 15, watching Jade Barrymore get drunk, falling out of a club, and then her daughter scampering after her. And I'm going, that kid's younger than me. How is she in that club? And then Drew Barrymore was like famously in and out of rehab like 3 times before she turned 17. It was just a terrible environment.
Didn't she first go to rehab when she was 13 or something crazy like that?
Yeah. She just had a really sort of derelict upbringing. That her parents were not there. She didn't. Her dad was a junkie. Your dad's a Barrymore.
Who?
So
Well,
it's
I don't
this,
know what a Barrymore is. What the hell's a Barrymore?
like the first family of Hollywood. They're Lionel Barrymore, John Barrymore, Ethel Barrymore. All of these people were like grand actors back in the day, and so her dad is like Lionel Barrymore the third, and they're still living off wealth from the, I don't know, I guess they fell off in the 60s, but you know what I mean? They're still living off wealth from back then. So she's born into this famous name family, the Barrymores.
I know, I know you think I'm smart and stuff, but I've never heard any of this.
You didn't know that Drew Barrymore was, oh my goodness.
I don't even know what a Barrymore is. I don't know, Lionel Barrymore the third. You think we're talking about that in Bug Tussle?
Well, no, but
Hey, remember Adrian from high school? He died he wrecked his race car up at the Lone Star Speedway.
look, I assume you get AMC out there on some cable service. I don't think it's that much to ask. Let's see here. Okay, so early life of Drew Barrymore. We'll give you a little bit of early life here. Drew Blythe Barrymore was born on February the 22nd, 1975 in Culver City, California, to actor John Drew Barrymore and aspiring actress Jade Barrymore. Though her father Barrymore has three older half-siblings, including actor John Blythe Barrymore. Barrymore family. All right. I don't know what. Yeah.
Like they were from Blue Blood family, like aristocrat, not just another actor.
Oh no, they are Hollywood blue bloods. Yeah, I mean they're like the no.
Yeah, but you make it sound like they're from like the British.
Well, all right, so here's the first sentence in Drew Barrymore's Wikipedia page. Drew Blythe Barrymore, born February 22nd, 1975, is an American actress, producer, talk show host, and author, a prominent member of the Barrymore family. So, I mean, Barrymore family's got their own Wikipedia page, James. What says blue blood more than that in America in 2023?
That's a pretty good point.
All right, now here.
Did her dad do anything that I would know?
No, that's what I said. Like the Barrymore stopped being relevant in the 60s until Drew came along and resurrected the family name. And then suddenly there's another Barrymore that's famous. So here's what it says about the Barrymore family. The Barrymore family and the related Drew family, which is what Drew Barrymore gets her name from. Like if her name was Robin, it would probably have been Robin Drew Barrymore, the hyphenated. The Barrymore family and the related Drew family from a British-American acting dynasty, which traces its acting roots to the mid-19th century London stage. See, they were those people. They started all the way back then.
Okay.
The surname Barrymore originated from an actor named William Barrymore. Let's see here. All right, so here's a list of Barrymore members with prodigious Wikipedia pages because they've accomplished things, but we've never heard of them. You got Lionel Barrymore, Ethel Barrymore, John Barrymore, John Drew Barrymore. These were all like famous actors from 1930 through 1970, I guess. And then Drew Barrymore.
Silent films and then talkies.
Yeah. How did we start talking about the Barrymores or Drew Barrymore? Oh, because he said she was hot and old. And I said, yeah, she always kind of reminded me of like she had like Down syndrome.
You didn't have to say it again.
Well, but it's true. I mean, I don't see what it's an observation, and I mean no harm by it.
It doesn't bother me, but there are people in the world who would find that a little abrasive.
Well, I guess those people are crazy. What do you got there, James?
An update. Remember the story from last week about the Boss Hog tiny town that had the 50 people on the police force and only 249 citizens in the entire town?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then the update was they had all got suspended. Just didn't want to leave you hanging. Like we promised, hey, we'll keep an eye on this for you and let you know if something happens. This is us letting you know if something happened. The Coffee City Police Department has been, look at this term, deactivated.
Coffee City Police Department deactivated, police chief terminated. Well, that sounds like that would track if you were just.
But it wasn't disbanded. It wasn't eliminated. It's deactivated, meaning they're just firing everybody, and they put up a Indeed column for a new police chief. I don't know.
Well, deactivated, it sounds like, okay, they're not leaving. Like they're staying at the police department. They're just not legal cops anymore. They're just like a biker gang now. That's their hangout. That's their clubhouse, the whole police station that got deactivated.
Yeah, well, it's not that weird because most of them lived in Houston anyway.
Yeah.
So you want to just see the
A bombshell TV report uncovered what some would say a badly run police force tonight in Coffee City. The council there taking a vote what goes on next for their police department.
KETK's Ashlyn Anderson was there when members made their decision and breaks down exactly what happened.
Monday night, Coffee City Council members determined the fate of their chief of police, John J. Portillo, and the entire department.
We vote to fire and terminate him as the chief of police here at Coffee City.
Effective immediately.
Effective immediately.
Seconding.
All in favor?
Aye.
This decision came after an investigation by a Houston television station detailing Portillo's past record.
We had confirmed that the DWI allegation was true.
Look at what the mayor's wearing at this very important meeting.
Yeah, what is that? He's got kids. Are those like peach stripes on that shirt? What is that?
He's wearing something from the front of Old Navy.
Yeah, very good. Look at him. He's a hip. He's hip. He's cool, mayor.
I don't know. I mean, at least get a solid color shirt with sleeves. I don't know. I mean, is that too judgy? I don't know.
At that point, we had already made the decision that we were going to vote to terminate Chief Portillo.
As for the department's reserved officer program, which was found to be operating in Houston, the city voted to deactivate the entire department.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Portillo needed to be fired for what he's done. And the deactivation, I don't even see why we have a police station in this area.
The Henderson County Sheriff's Department will now
That's
cover
what we were
all
saying.
calls out of Coffee City until a new chief is appointed.
The most severe is going to be the quickest.
All right.
They got 50 people in that town. What do they got a police department for?
Yeah, totally unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. So we'll see.
All right. So
Just so you know, there was another town that eliminated their police force a few years ago. It's the town of Winona. And not to brag or anything, but my mom was the Citizen of the Year in Winona in 2012.
well, it sounds like would have been very competitive. Sounds like they have good citizens there if they don't need a police department.
Yeah, but they have 623 citizens.
Okay. You got a little bit of a city. All right, here, I want to talk to you about something. Well, first of all, we need to talk about last night, and we need to talk about 1 week from tonight. And we need to let all of our people in the chat room know at least a week ahead of time. 1 week from tonight, guys, we are going to be performing at the Improv in Addison. It's James and me. We finished our comedy courses. Well, not finished yet, but Tuesday night is our big showcase night. Now, tickets are free, right, James? I have that right. Tickets are free, but you got to let us know if you're coming. We'll put you on a list. We'll get you all in, right, James?
Yeah, there's a 2-item minimum. That's just a comedy club staple. So you got to get like 2 drinks or a drink and a basket of French fries or something. Are you hearing me?
Who, me? Are you talking to me? Oh, no, I thought you were just making a general statement. I was waiting. All right, so this is going to be James and I have been taking Dean Lewis's comedy classes, stand-up comedy class for the last couple of months. I mean, I think it's 6 weeks in total, but with a break, so almost 2 months. On Monday nights, it's been the reason there haven't been any Monday night Radio Misfits shows in that period of time. And now it's all done. And we are going to be live on stage. James doing 6 minutes, and then me doing 6 minutes. And then there's also a whole bunch of real comedians as well. Like, it's not just going to be like, people who just took a comedy class, but it is going to be us. It's going to be our class.
And we'll just whip through it real quick. We're going to do like 5 or 6 minutes. That's it.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. I thought it would be fun because especially for the people that hang out with us, every day. Now, granted, I know, Jeff is in Iowa and I have some friends that pop in who are from Illinois, so they're not going to come. But if any of you guys want to come and hang out, it is going to be 1 week from tonight. 1 week from tonight. It is Tuesday, the 19th of September at the Improv in Addison. Tickets are free. But yeah, it's that club thing where you got 2 drink minimum. So you can't just sit there and drink water. You don't look, you know what? We bring a better class of people than that anyway. So I mean, we shouldn't even have to say it. It seems very cool.
Well, if you're one of my friends, I should have to say to you, you have a 12 drink maximum.
Yes, drink. We want you to come out and drink. And my promise to you will be that I'll hang out. So it'd be a good chance for all of us to kind of hang out, press the flesh. We haven't really done that ever with this show. James, we'll figure out a way to keep you in town here on that night. See if we can't hornswoggle that somehow.
How? I have to work. I have to do.
Oh, you do? Yeah, you've got but no choice.
Yeah, I got to get my ass back.
Holy cow. Okay, well, I will pick up the slack for James, and we can hang out, and E will be there, so we'll have fun. So that'll be 1 week from tonight. Now, If you want to go, again, we need your names. You need to be on it. And if you're going to bring a date or bring a friend, that's going to be hard for me to enforce. Like last night, Dean was like, nah, the list has to be tight because we're not charging the people that are on the list because they're going to be a good audience for you. You know what I mean? So he's like, but you got to get everybody's name. It can't be so-and-so plus one. And I don't know how that's going to fly with my friends. Like my friends are like, I don't know who I'm bringing.
We'll figure it out and let me know before Friday.
Help. So if you guys want to go, just let us know. I guess letting us know in the chat room probably isn't the best way, but if you follow James, how do they follow you on Facebook?
Look for James Parker.
There you go. Send James Parker a note on Facebook.
It's 2023. You can find us.
Okay. Or we're probably already friends anyway. So I'll do the same. You can send me an instant message on Facebook with your name, the name of the person that you also want on the list. Or if you know on Facebook, you want to do it that, or Twitter, you want to do it that way, you can do it that way as well. It is 1 week from tonight at the Improv in Addison. No charge for the tickets, but it is the big comedy debut of James and Pugs.
You make me feel like I'm such an a-hole because you're kind of nice about it. And I'm over here thinking, dude, you're literally watching us on an internet stream of some platform. You can find us and let us know. Don't let that be an impediment. You late. Who would be that big of a lazy? No one's that lazy. No one watching this show. Look, you see people are from YouTube and Facebook, and sometimes we get a Twitch person in there.
I have parents of my friends who check in from time to time, quite frequently, and I don't know how adept they are at the internet stuff.
If they can find this stream. It's not like this is broadcast over the air and someone's picking it up on accident.
That's true.
They seek us out just to listen to this.
That's true. You probably found it on Facebook. That's probably so. Just send us a note there.
Yeah, you can probably pick something up in like this region here and get it done. But yeah, we would love to have you out on Tuesday, please.
Oh, April's coming. April says she's coming. Woo! We know Jen's gonna be there. Woo! Byron better be there. Al better be there. Byron's probably gonna have some poker game. Byron's like a degenerate gambler. It's like this show. He only listens when he doesn't have himself involved in a big game. I don't know if he's a degenerate gambler, but you better come, Byron.
Don't insult me either. Don't be heckling, you jerk.
But Byron's an a-hole, which is why we love him. He's a big, loud dude. Big, loud, antisocial dude. That's why we love Byron. Let's see here. One of the things I wanted to get into you about now, I'm sorry, Jeff, as you show our buddy Jeff Ballard there on the screen. Sorry, Jeff, but I'm going to bring something up with James that I already talked about during the afternoon show. Jeff hates when I do that. Jeff, actually, I don't know if he hates it, but he said it. He commented once, like, you talked about this already. He did it like 2 years ago, and I'm never going to let him forget it. Never going to let him forget it. So I want to talk to you about the Aaron Rodgers debacle. I want to get your take on this.
Oh, man, I love the story so much, and it's not for good reasons either. Like, I feel like a bad person for enjoying it, but it's not tragic. I mean, we're talking about a tendon snapping. There's like children dying in cobalt mines or whatever. So, with the proper context, this is incredible. This is so. Oh man, I can't. What was it? What do you take? 4 snaps. 4?
Well, 4 snaps. Unless you count his Achilles, then it's 5 snaps.
Yes.
No, but yeah, four snaps, and this guy just completely ruptures his Achilles. Oh, and James, look, first I'll let you roll with it, but let me just reiterate. So obviously,
not everyone knows what happened. Catch everyone up.
Aaron Rodgers ruptured his Achilles after 4 snaps yesterday in his debut, his much ballyhooed debut with the New York Jets. Now, my long history with him goes all the way back. Hayes got Green Bay Packers, that whole thing. But as I've been saying in my quick little reviews of the Hard Knock season this year that I was doing during the High Noon Show, he won me over. I'm like, you know what? I kind of like Aaron Rodgers, the Jet. Like, he totally won me over, and it was purposeful. I mean, that entire Hard Knocks this year on HBO was an Aaron Rodgers reclamation project. It was a rebranding. It was reintroducing him, trying to put some distance, and it worked. He was so awesome. I, a Bears fan, was like, yeah, all right, I like him. So he comes running out with the flag. Oh, the anniversary of 9/11. I mean, that was a 9/11 for Jets fans. That's for sure. I mean, that was not what they expected. He comes running out, flag way. Oh, go ahead, James. Give me your thoughts on it.
Okay, so for those of y'all who don't know anything about sports or football or even really care, I can make this real simple. Aaron Rodgers is an epic quarterback that was at Green Bay for like 20 years and killed it, won a Super Bowl, MVP a bunch of times.
He's the best quarterback I've ever seen.
Yeah. So now he's like, what, 39, 40?
Something like that.
And so, like, the Packers kind of done with him, and he's kind of done with the Packers. They're kind of sick of each other, and they bicker, and he doesn't get along with the coach. And so there's this other team called the Jets, and they have sucked their entire lives except for one Joe Namath miracle year. And that was in like 1968 or something. When was that?
They had some years in the 80s with Boomer, and they percolated. But yeah, they're not a winning franchise. 1969, Joe Namath said he was gonna beat the world champion Baltimore Colts, predicted it, and he did it, and that was legend. And ain't done nothing since then. However, to be fair, the New York Jets of 2023 are a super team, loaded with incredible talent that they've been gathering for the last 2 years. All they needed was the quarterback, and that's why a lot of people thought they were the glamour pick for a Super Bowl win this year, with the bets, the early betting, because they got Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was stepping into a loaded – Aaron Rodgers was not going to go to a team that wasn't loaded. You know what I mean? Aaron Rodgers is like, win now.
Yeah, and for non-NFL fans or football fans, period, in the NFL, there's 32 teams, but there's really only about 16 good quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's true.
The hardest thing to do. And if you don't have a good quarterback, you don't have a chance. And so this team, the Jets, that haven't had a good quarterback, look, and when you suck, you get to draft high. And so you get to get like the best quarterbacks coming out of college every year, and they just pick all the busts. Them in Cleveland, they just love being the lily pad that all the fat frogs jump on.
The Raiders pick a lot of busts too. The Raiders are really bad. The Raiders, if their guys don't outright bust like Jamarcus Russell, they turn into murderous DUI drivers like Henry Ruggs. But the Raiders are always blowing their first rounders somehow.
Yeah, so this franchise that hadn't had any hope since Mark Sanchez and the Bill Parcells years, right? Yeah,
that's the closest. Absolutely.
So what is that? 25 years?
Maybe Chad Pennington. There was like a few years back there in the early 2000s where Chad Pennington gave him some hope. But yeah, they've had nothing.
So that's a situation where Green Bay Jets, Aaron Rodgers bails, and it wasn't an amicable split. It was kind of.
He wore out his welcome. He was
sick of him. They were sick of him. He wanted to make every decision concerning the Packers, and at one point the Packers management said, "Yeah, no, man, we know you're Aaron, but no, you can't do that." So he left. So the stage is huge because Aaron Rodgers gets to prove that he is the reason the Packers had all that success, and he is there to show that he can win without these idiots. He can win on his own terms, his own way, and go out in his style because no one's going to tell him what to do. And he really does have a chance because he's going to a team that's like, we have all the pieces. We just need a quarterback, and this dude walks up. Oh, what a perfect match. What a perfect match. All it takes to glue these two people together is $75 million.
There you go.
So $75 million gets you 4 plays, and the guy snaps his Achilles tendon, and he's out for the year.
So let me show you. You just very nicely described the lament of the New York Jet fan. I don't know if you saw this. I showed this earlier today. So this is from Barstool. This is the Jets room for the Barstool. These are all diehard New York Jets fans watching in real time as they realize Aaron Rodgers is hurt. Okay. So
I love stuff like this. Oh, I'm such a bad person.
This is almost really mean, but I would like to draw your attention to the guy on the far right in the green Jets jersey and the backward Jets hat. Okay. I'd like to draw your attention to him because he's the optimist of the group. He stays with the idea that he's just trying to get a timeout. He's not injured. He stays with that thought far longer than anyone else.
Wait.
But hold on. But then
they got cameras and they've got 2 mics in front of them. So this isn't just some dudes in their living room. This is a setup for
this is Barstool. Yeah, this is Barstool's.
I thought you meant Barstool found this viral video.
Oh, no. This is Barstool, New York. This is the Barstool New York Jets watching party with all the Barstool New York Jet fans. They do not take it. But it's the slow burn of the realization because it goes from, he's fine. He'll get up. He's fine. And then, it's just this slow, cringy. I mean, as good as anything Michael Scott ever did. It's so slow and cringy.
Does it show what they're seeing? Because for those of y'all who hadn't seen it, like when your Achilles tendon snaps, it basically rolls up the back of your leg into your calf muscle like a window shade from Tom and Jerry. Just whoosh.
All right, are you ready for this?
Like you can see it happen in slow motion. It go boing under the skin.
You can see that in a couple of the extra angles that they came up with. That you can see his back of his calf just bulge out all of a sudden. All right, again, here we go. New York Jet fans watching in real time as Aaron Rodgers gets injured and lost for the season.
Oh, no! There's no way! There's no way! There's no way!
No, he's doing that because he's stopped.
No, he's hurt.
No, he's
I can't do this. He's hurt. I can't do this, Plumber. He's 100%
I can't do
this.
No.
I cannot live this
way.
There's no way. Wait, what do you mean?
No, he's doing that.
I love the guy. That guy is every one of us at one point or another. The guy's like, I can't do this. I can't live this way. So true.
All the optimism in the world. Every reason to think this is your year and the magic pieces have finally come together and bam.
In an instant. This is the football fan equivalent of just walking down the street and an aneurysm going off in your brain. You never see it coming.
No one even did anything wrong.
No. Okay, here.
I can't do this.
No.
I cannot live this
way.
There's no way. Wait, what do you mean?
No, he's doing that he's doing that to like slow down the game. Like
he's hurt.
Oh, he's so cute and hopeful.
No.
Sucking down.
No, you got look. His foot got stepped on.
It's twisted. Look at that. Ooh.
I didn't see. All right, right now it's sinking in.
That foot was a little bit awkward.
If he's fucking hurt.
If he's fucking hurt.
Shut the fuck up. What?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yo, I'm telling you, that guy, he just tore his Achilles or something.
This is unbelievable. This is the most.
But it's not.
You're right.
It's the most fucking. But this is why I don't do it.
Fuck!
This is why I don't do it.
No way.
Bro, this is why I don't do it.
Oh, it hurts.
What the fuck?
All right, Zachy.
I can't.
Well, all right, there you have it. I love those guys. That is so real. That is so authentic. Man, I felt that way watching it last night, and I'm not even particularly a Jets fan, or you know what I mean? It was just like, oh no.
Yeah, you gotta feel bad for them. They didn't even do anything wrong.
No.
And I kind of wanted to see what Aaron Rodgers would do with the loaded Jets team and a franchise that just needs any reason to hope.
Yeah,
and
right.
They finally had a reason to hope, and they didn't even get to hold on to it for a full quarter, for a full drive. They didn't. Their hopeful, wonderful season that was to be, like, died almost instantly.
Oh yeah,
so brutal. So, oh man.
All right. So now let me show you. We'll show you we'll watch the incident, okay? Because it was strange. I don't know if you saw it, James, or unless you saw it the next day, but it was a regular play. It was a really non-violent sack. It was, like the Dale Earnhardt runs into the wall and you're like, that killed him? We've all seen that crash and been like, that shouldn't have killed him. Well, this kind of sack should not have ended Aaron Rodgers' season. It wasn't even particularly violent. And he gets right up and everything seems fine. And then he sits down. And it's when he sits down and everybody goes, oh boy. So here, let's watch this. This is the event as it played out live on ESPN. We can hear the announcers and what they're speculating and all that stuff. Here we go.
Years with the Rams, the former first-round pick of the Bears, and now Rodgers sits down. A loss of 10 on the play, and hopefully.
So this is what those guys were just watching.
That's the only loss on that play. See what happened at the end of it.
Take a look here at the very end, and hard to see. Of course,
he pulled him down. He didn't even knock him down.
The calf issue in training camp, but here's a little better look as far as what might have happened for him to go back down to the ground.
He's coming out of the game. That means.
Wait till it shows the angle.
A few plays into game one, Zach Wilson the former number 2 overall pick.
Oh, there's an optimistic Jets fan right there, that guy. Well, long story short, and didn't mean to bury the lead, the Jets, with Zach Wilson, not Aaron Rodgers, had a great night. Upset the Buffalo Bills, who are one of the favorites in all of football. I mean, the Jets, Jets, they won. They won.
Good for them.
Yeah. Well, Zach was, I don't know. Look, I think it might have just been the adrenaline of the night. I don't know if Zach, the whole reason they went and got Aaron Rodgers was because they don't think Zach Wilson could take them through a whole season. Well, we'll see. Oh, well, here's the other thing that you need to know as a Cowboy fan. So there was this one rumor that was going around by fake Adam Schefter, who was saying that the New York Jets are interested in Trey Lance, who the Cowboys just acquired for a 4th rounder from the San Francisco 49ers. The Cowboys could now flip Trey Lance to the Jets possibly for a 2nd rounder.
No, maybe a 1st.
Nah, probably not a 1st. But hey, maybe.
They are desperate.
But Zach Wilson, the guy they're stuck with, is more proven than Trey Lance, right? So they're not going to. All right. The other thing that I found interesting about that whole thing was that the guy who knocked him out for the season is, of course, Leonard Floyd, who was ironically a Chicago Bear his entire career, and has played against him his whole career. So, look, Leonard Floyd sacking Aaron Rodgers is not rare. That's happened many times, but they've just never been a Jet or a Bill or Bill. Bill before. The other thing is the left tackle who completely whiffed on Leonard Floyd, who allowed Leonard Floyd a clear and open shot to Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that was a broken play. That dude is Dwayne Brown. He was just signed to the team 2 weeks ago to replace Mekhi Becton, who's their all-pro left tackle and one of the best in the league. Mekhi Becton got injured, so they panicked and went out and signed this guy 2 weeks ago. And in the first game of the season, the guy they just signed 2 weeks ago blows the block that ends Aaron Rodgers' season. Whew. I don't know if he's still going to be on the roster. I don't know. How could he? Because he whiffed really bad. He whiffed incredibly bad. He looked terrible. Leonard Floyd is not good. Leonard Floyd is a journeyman at this point. So, anyway.
Oh, that's a little brutal. Can I do my overreaction on the Cowboys?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Winning the Super Bowl. Just
there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Get on that horse and ride, my friend. Enjoy it. You say all the stupid shit you want to say. Don't worry, it won't come back and haunt you.
Never does. Yeah.
If you say Super Bowl on September the 12th, I'm with you, my friend.
Well, the whole point is to believe. It is. If you're not believing, then why are you watching? You just watching to crap on your team. So I'm a believer now. Jets fans don't have this luxury. And there's a lot of other teams out there who wish they were in our position, and so I'm going to enjoy it a little bit.
Enjoy it.
Look, if you're going to get mad when they lose, then get happy when they win. You're not just supposed to. Football's not supposed to piss you off all the time.
So. Enjoy it. That's why we allow it to piss us off, because we love it when we. James, though, I would caution you on this. You know what Week 1 in the NFL is known as? Famously, Week 1 in the NFL is known as Liars Week. Liars Week, because nothing that you see in Week 1 tends to ever be even remotely what the season ends up to be. So what that means for teams like Cincinnati is not going to suck. It looked like they were going to suck. Minnesota is not going to suck. Who else? I don't know. Anyway, whatever it is. But yeah, the Liars Week. So, but hey, what a way to start the season for the Cowboys.
All right. Question.
Mm-hmm.
I got a history question. Who is the greatest flying ace when we're talking about fighter pilots of all time?
Well, that depends. Are we talking about from a Western American point of view, or are we talking about renowned globally? Because that would be World War I flying ace, German ace, Friedrich von Fasten, the Red Baron.
Yeah, but he's not the one who shot down the most people. It's this dude.
Oh, well, you didn't say the guy who shot down them. You said flying ace. I'm talking about you. I thought you were talking about dogfight winners and the legends of that, like Top Gun.
This is the dude, Eric. It's not in English, though. He wasn't exactly on our team. World War II, how many planes do you think he shot down?
He's a Nazi?
I didn't say that. I don't want to.
Well, Hartmann with 2 N's. I'm guessing that's German.
Eric.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's a Nazi. That's okay. They were good at the sky stuff. They were very early to that party.
He's a very prolific, efficient Nazi.
you're trying to heap praise on a Nazi for a skill set.
I am not.
Look at James.
He's a horrible person. I hope he's burning in hell. How about that? Is that good enough?
Yeah. Now spend 10 minutes talking about what an amazing pilot he was.
No, I just found this list fascinating because I can't imagine how high it would be. It's supposedly, according to slashgear.com, so for what it's worth, 352 kills in the Luftwaffe in World War II's Eastern Front. He never lost a wingman. He was never shot down. He flew 1,400 missions. Thought that was pretty awesome. The second one is your Red Baron.
Manfred von Richthofen.
Oh my God, I think you said that perfect.
Yeah. How about Pappy Boyington? They got Pappy Boyington in there. He's
I'm just saying, like Red Baron, like he shot down a whole bunch of planes and then he made all those pizzas, and I thought that was pretty good.
I know, pretty good, huh?
Good rebound.
All while wearing a Snoopy suit, which is
I know, even better. Number 3, this is not a joke.
Richard Bong.
Dick Bong. This guy's name is Dick
Bong. You better be a good Top Gun.
Yeah, you're like, what were you Googling to find this page, James?
That's why he's probably such a badass dude that he had to have a name like that, just to like take the edge off.
Isn't that everybody's best friend in the like whatever your generation's Animal House is?
Richard Dick Bong. Who else we got? Come on, now I'm interested. I don't know why I'm interested, but I kind of am.
Okay. By the way, Dick Bong, is he number? He's number 3, right? Number 3, 40 confirmed kills.
Okay,
that's it. 40.
Well, first of all, record keeping back then, and honestly, with the Red Baron, there weren't that many airplanes. So he was limited as to the number of targets he actually had.
I think that's a valid point. The crazy part about the dude who was number 1, though, is that he flew 1,400 missions, and so he was in the Nazis' Eastern Front from the beginning of the war, and so just basically like every other day for 5 years, he was making sorties over an active war zone, and no one else gets to do that. And so they had clear air superiority too. So whatever tangles he got into, he was going to win. And then you go all the way down, and Dick Bong is the first American on the list. He was flying in the Pacific Theater in World War II. 40 confirmed kills. Cool name, though, huh? Here's number 4, Douglas Bader.
Douglas Bader looks like a badass.
I know, he's got a strong jawline. Looks like he could have been a second role in a movie. 24 confirmed kills.
When did he fight? Korea? That looks like a jet that he's...
No. He's a Royal Air Force.
Right, but what war? Because I'm looking
at looks like World War II. No.
That's a jet. That's why I was wondering if it was like Korea. The British, they fought in Korea too. All right, never mind. Keep going.
But
jets were introduced in Korea.
He was aerial acrobatics pilot, and he got into an accident at an air show. They were doing some sort of stunt. And
that'll happen.
Yeah, this was in 1931. He lost both of his legs.
Ooh.
And then in World War II, he's just like from the stumps up, goes down to 24 confirmed kills.
Just stumping it up there on that stick, firing. I guess you wouldn't need your feet, maybe. I guess I was impressed by the Def Leppard drummer.
But he got his kills in the Battle of Britain with the Germans coming over London. Bombing London all the time. That was kind of like their hobby for a few years. He was also shot down and captured by the Germans. And to prevent him from escaping, they took away his right prosthetic leg.
Well, that'll do it. That'll slow him down.
Germans are dicks, man. They had a bad stretch there.
There's Pappy. This is the one that I thought was America's number 1, Pappy Boyington.
Okay. This is further down the list than I read. But this is the Black Sheep Squadron guy, right?
Yeah.
That's all I know. So I guess obviously World War II. How many kills did he have? 28 kills. He was shot down and taken prisoner, and then he was in that TV show.
Well, the TV show was about him. He wasn't in the TV. Same guy. Yes. Robert Conrad.
Yeah, he was in the
Matthew
show.
Bowington. Yes.
I didn't even read this far. I haven't.
All right, we don't need it. Hey, I do want to talk about one other story here that's happening today.
This guy's Ukrainian.
Yeah, we don't. Is that the what do they call him? The Ghost of Kiev? Remember that guy?
Let's see. He took out 48 enemy planes, and no, it was World War II. Screw that guy.
All right, James, we don't have much time, and I've got a good story that I want to go out on here because it is fascinating. It's fascinating to me. Okay, so I don't know how up to speed you are on the whole Danny Masterson, a.k.a. Hyde from that 70s show story. What do you know?
I hate my fellow jerks in the media. Y'all tell all your stories backwards, and it pisses me off to no end.
Okay.
I saw no stories about Danny Masterson doing all the horrible things he did, and I saw 142 stories of Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis apologizing for writing a supportive letter about him. I didn't even know what was going on with Danny Masterson if not for Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis apologizing. And if Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis don't apologize, I would have never known they said anything positive about.
I know. First of all, this is what pisses me off. Those character letters are supposed to be kept secret. They're not supposed to be leaked. There is no expectation that they're going to be made public because it's supposed to allow people who know the defendant in a way different than he's being judged for to impress upon the judge that people are more complicated than just what he sees, right? It's supposed to be private. And in this case, it was leaked. And so now they got to respond because, the horde comes for them because they're rapists. Now, they deserve the same thing. They're going to be destroyed. So that whole thing happened. But that's where I get it. This is what's happening. This is what I want to talk about. So Chrissy Bixler. She is Jane Doe number one. She was the organizer of this. She was one of the rape victims. She dated Hyde. I'm going to call him Hyde. She dated Hyde for a while. She has fired back at Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis for doing what James just described, putting out a video explaining why they wrote character letters for their friend of 23 years. Who was about to be sentenced to 30 years in prison, right? He was already convicted. They knew he was going to jail. They're just writing a letter for a friend. Jesus, you know what? Walk a mile in their shoes. That is honestly what I'd like to tell people sometimes. I mean, life is way more complicated than the black and white way that most people online seem to see it. Anyway, so Chrissy Bixler, who's one of the victims, is now going to war with the Kutcher Kunises. And man, she struck gold with something that is starting to take off now. And James, are you familiar with the Hollywood Ripper? Do you know who the Hollywood Ripper is?
I do not.
The Hollywood Ripper was a serial killer who was targeting beautiful young actresses in the early 2000s and mid 2000s in Hollywood.
Well, isn't that the plot of like LA Confidential or something?
Probably. I don't know. Every show on USA Network probably has that plot.
Ooh, good point. Yeah.
So the second victim of the Hollywood Ripper was Ashton Kutcher's girlfriend. This was in 2001. Now, dude, this has so much OJ vibes, and it has been buried for 20 years, except now Chrissy Bixler, who is Jane Doe number one, who Hyde raped, who was Hyde's girlfriend. She was... Yeah, dude, follow my story here. Nobody has said anything about this story. Ashton Kutcher testified at the trial of Michael Gugino, who is convicted of being the Hollywood Ripper. So, I mean, Ashton Kutcher is officially tethered to this story. He testified in court and all that stuff. So, but it's just, we didn't know about it because it wasn't big news.
That's
but
weird.
It is weird to learn that somebody as famous as Ashton Kutcher, when he was famous, went through something this weird, dark, and interesting in the tabloid era. And we're just learning about it now.
Right. It's kind of like the to borrow the metaphor, it's like if I had a nickel for every time, famous sitcom movie star got rolled up into a serial killer trial, I would only have one nickel, but that's still too many.
That's still too many. So here's what happened. So in 2001, on February the 21st, Ashton Kutcher was going to pick up his girl, Elle. Here, we'll show you this. What is her name? I'm so sorry. I need to have her name. Anyway.
Could he find his car?
Ashley Ellerin. Her name is Ashley Ellerin. So Ashton Kutcher, on the night of February the 21st, 2001, he showed. Now remember this. He's on that 70s show, but he's not Ashton Kutcher. He's a young, hot Hollywood actor who's got a sitcom on a network. So he's doing okay, right? He's killing it. He's 21 years old. And he goes to pick up this Ashley Ellerin, who is his girlfriend on and off, for a date. He gets to her place, knocks on the door, and she doesn't answer. So he goes around to the window, Ashton Kutcher does, and he looks in and he sees what he describes at the time as what appears to be spilt wine all over the living room. He looks and thinks, okay, I guess there's just chaos in the living room. There's just spilt wine or whatever. And he leaves. Remember, he's going there to pick up a girl that he's dating on a date. She doesn't answer. He sees spilled wine, and then he just leaves. Now, here is what Chrissy Bixler is saying when she threatened the things that you did on that night, Ashton, would get you ended. Okay, so here's what's believed to be going on. This is what he's being accused of. Ashton Kutcher apparently went into the house. And left his own DNA all over it. Now, nobody thinks Ashton Kutcher is the killer. Nobody thinks he's the killer. But what people are questioning is that Ashton Kutcher very much is the guy who discovered her body. And what he did after discovering her body has people going, what? Because instead of calling the police or calling an ambulance or calling 911, Ashton Kutcher's first call upon discovering the body was supposedly to Danny Masterson, who happened to have been with Chrissy Bixler, the girl, Jane Doe number 1, who is now making these charges. Remember, she said, I was there with Danny the night you called. So apparently, they say an hour and a half went by. Danny Masterson then got a hold of their shared publicist, and their publicist then got involved. Nobody's calling the police. This girl is lying, butchered on the floor. Ashton Kutcher's not there anymore. He got the hell out of there. And now he's calling all of these people. So that's the story. That's what, apparently Danny Masterson was far more influential over that entire group of that 70s show than I think anyone ever expected. Like, he's being described as a cult leader in the early days.
Like you could tell I would assume just by looking that he's older than the rest of them. He looks older than the rest of them.
I don't know how much older he is than Ashton Kutcher. I know that Ashton Kutcher was 19. I know that Wilmer Valderrama was 20, and that Mila Kunis was 14. So Mila Kunis was 14 when they started. Ashton Kutcher was 19. I don't know how we could just look that up. But anyway, it's not important. The fact of the matter is that instead of calling the police, Ashton Kutcher apparently called his publicist and Danny Masterson to game plan how he can best handle, instead of just calling the police or 911 or whatever. So that's what's going on about Ashton Kutcher right now. And it's all because he wrote a character letter for a friend of 23 years.
So Danny Masterson is the oldest. He was born in 76. Wilmer Valderrama.
His second oldest?
Lauren Prepon. And wait. No. Ashton Kutcher and Topher Grace were born in 78.
Do you know, apparently they were really mean. See, we're learning all of this stuff now about that 70s show. Like Topher Grace, they were really mean to Topher Grace because Topher Grace was apparently Danny Masterson had this like hold on the group. Like he was like the leader. Come on, we're going out to party and all that stuff. And like Topher Grace didn't want anything to do with that. So he hung around with none of them. He's not friends with any of them. Isn't that weird? Because that was such.
I have no idea. How do you know this?
No, because all this stuff is being written about and talked about now. Because Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis and Danny Masterson are, I wouldn't be surprised if like E is going to launch Secrets of that 70s show, right? We're going to learn all of this garbage because everybody's telling stories. No, Topher Grace wasn't a partier. Topher Grace saw those guys in their early 20s as just, come on, let's party. Like that was their whole thing. And you can understand that. You're a young celebrity in Hollywood. Let's party. Topher Grace was more like serious and maybe kind of square. And he was like, yeah, I went home and read my lines for the next day while they were out in a club until 4 a.m. So that was just the difference.
Man, I don't know how you don't be the guy that goes out and parties and is in the club until 4 a.m. when you're, 20 years old.
That's the thing.
And you're a millionaire, or not even a millionaire, just 100,000-aire.
That's it. You said it, when you're 20 years old. I mean, I can totally see how I could totally see how you might not be that guy at my age or your age. But yeah, 21, I don't know. I think you figure, I'll know my lines.
Yeah, or look, apparently they figured it out.
Well, yeah. Although, let's not kid ourselves. I am sure that there are millions of careers that have been ended because people were embracing the ideas that we just put, guys that didn't make it because they were going out partying. Whereas, maybe the Topher Grace was home studying lines.
Well, is he better off than any of them? Isn't he like maybe the least famous guy out of that crew?
No, I think he's the only guy out of that crew that is doing consistently high-end A-list movie work. Topher Grace shows up in like good movies all the time.
Topher Grace does? No, sure. Ashton Kutcher #1.
No. Tell me what was the last big? No, Ashton Kutcher is a big media presence because of social media and all that stuff. Name me the last big movie that Ashton Kutcher starred in. Ashton Kutcher's not an A-list actor. He's an incredibly popular personality and a really smart investor. Like he's made a lot of money. Like was one of the first investors for Uber and all that. But he's not an A-list actor.
I didn't say A-list. I just said bigger than Topher Grace.
I don't think so. I mean, I think Topher Grace is a more respected and more working actor in Hollywood than Ashton. Ashton Kutcher's a producer, though. He produces projects for other people, so that's what keeps him busy.
Well, clearly your knowledge of that 70s show cast beats mine. So.
Well, I don't know if that's the case.
Clearly it does. I didn't know I didn't know Topher Grace was a nerd that didn't go out and he was not part of the crew. I didn't know this stuff.
Yeah, and Danny Masterson was really mean to him about it, like a dick, like a nerd, like a bully.
Why would you be like a dick about it?
Because apparently Danny Masterson was a dick. He was a bad guy. He was like wanted to be a cult leader kind of a thing. That's how he's being described.
Well, who doesn't want to be a cult leader?
Well, we all want to be a cult leader. We just don't walk around acting like it. Right. Especially when one of your followers is Ashton Kutcher, because that is so funny because Danny Masterson was like a nothing. He didn't do anything after that 70s show. And Ashton Kutcher is legitimately a very famous individual. So it's like, why is Ashton following Danny around? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the guy seemed to have potential in the fact that the character he made could easily transfer to any number of movie settings. He had that vibe that sort of Seth Rogen took over. But
who did?
Danny Masterson as Hyde. That character. Yeah. That character in like a lot of movies.
That's not a great character though. That's not a memorable character.
No, but it can easily transfer, like I said, to that Seth Rogen niche where you just need kind of like the sort of overweight, pasty white guy with awkward hair and smokes a lot of weed.
Well, maybe that's the problem. Maybe that character doesn't work. Maybe that persona doesn't work when it's attached to a guy who can get laid. That you attach that persona to Seth Rogen, and then suddenly it's funny because he's harmless because he's a big, fat, lovable guy, right? But there's a bit of an edge to Danny Masterson. He's a handsome guy. He looked like
he's handsome.
You don't think he's handsome? I mean,
I don't know, dude.
I assume he is. Oh, but anyway, I want to talk. So let's talk about this Hollywood Ripper guy. I want to show you here. So very interesting. This guy killed or went after young actresses. Okay.
So was this in the late 90s?
Yeah, 2001 through 2008 is when he was.
Ashton Kutcher was already a big deal for 3 years.
Oh yeah. Okay, so here these are his victims. One was in Illinois. He's from Glenview, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. He murdered his next door neighbor and then fled when the police were chasing him. So he ended up in Hollywood, where he murdered his neighbor in Hollywood, his neighbor in Santa Monica, and his neighbor in Santa Barbara. And here are
worst neighbor ever.
Oh yeah. Here are his the first one on the left here. This was his 16-year-old neighbor that he killed in Chicago. Apparently he liked her. This one here, this is Ashton Kutcher's girlfriend. This is Ashley Ellerin. This one, they're all really attractive. This one's she's lived next door to him in Santa Monica, and he apparently stalked her and then murdered her. And then this one, is this the one? Yeah, this one, Michelle Murphy. She fought back. She's the reason he got caught. She did not die. She escaped. So this is the one that got him. But yeah, that's what he did. He killed her. He killed her. He killed her. And then the Hollywood Ripper, Michael Gugino.
So 93, 2001, 2005. You think that stretch between 93 and 2001, when you've only killed one person and you're not a serial killer yet, you're like, you know what? If I could just quit now, I might never get caught for the first one. I could just like get away with it.
Oh no! Wait.
First.
No, he's believed to be responsible for possibly up to 20 other murders. Those are just the ones that they caught him on. Those are just the ones that he got sloppy. But no, he is believed to be responsible for any number of missing girls and dead pretty girls around Los Angeles for a whole bunch of years leading up to 2008. The last one they could pin on him was 2005. But it was the one in 2008 that got away. That they were actually then they had a witness and they were able to go get him. And yeah, he did it. Like, he's not like, man, I didn't do it. No, he's like, hey, you got me. He's one of them serial killers.
I find it sort of sobering to know that there are people out there that this is their jam. I just got to kill, man. I got a thirst to kill. I need to, like some people need a cigarette, or some people like to fish or play golf, or some people like to sniff feet or whatever. Some people there's like a toilet cam man out there. I have some friends that are ridiculous about rescuing dogs in the worst neighborhoods in New Orleans and nursing them back to health. Like, there's all kinds of weird fetishy things, but some people's fetish is murdering the person next to you.
Yeah.
Murdering beautiful women.
It's very weird.
Puts the lotion in the basket.
What else?
Come to the show on Tuesday. That's it.
Come to the show on Tuesday. Send us a note. Let us know. We need to get your names in by Friday. The list closes on Friday. So, come on. If you want to come out, what could it hurt? Just say you want to be on the list, and then I'll put you on the list. You don't have to actually show up, but you want to get it in now. So send me a note on Facebook. Send me a note on, come on, just send me a note. You guys know how to get in touch with me. James said, see, James, now you got me double thinking it. Earlier in the show, I was trying to explain how you could contact us, and James like, they should know. And he's right. You should know.
Good.
You should know.
If you don't get in touch with us, that means you're not trying, and I don't appreciate the lack of effort.
You should know how to get in touch with us.
Serve the show.
Twitter, Facebook. All right, that's probably it. All right, bye, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for the High Noon Report at 12 p.m. And James back tomorrow night. Okay.
Yep.
Hey, no football this week. My kid's got no games. He's on a bye week.
Okay.
3-0 into the bye. We're very excited. All right, bye, James.
Bye, Leslie.
Shadooby. It's all I need. All right, I gotta go. I'm tired and hungry. Ugh. I don't know what I want to eat. I don't know. It's just one of those things where, like, everything that, like, I'm too lazy to cook something, too lazy to go anywhere. In the stuff that I can make, I'm just like, ugh. I want ramen noodles or bean and cheese burrito. I don't want that. That doesn't sound too bad, actually. I don't know. See you tomorrow at noon. Bye, everybody.
I can smile a little now. Things are going good. I always had to be on guard. That is understood. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. I am on a never-ending quest.